All right, welcome back. And now going forward, kindly give me confirmation if my video, audio both are fine. And I believe that both are fine. And I'm sharing my video and my screen. All right. So there you are. So there you are. All right. So coming back to this now, guys. Okay, come on. So now in case like we had got to see that is console, get element by ID, document.write, and Windows alert. So these are the four different types that where we can display on the screen. But when it is come to the Java programming language, just the Java programming language, we'll just write it as like, okay, we'll write it as like system.out.println. So like this, there's a print statement in JavaScript, not in the JavaScript, it is actually in the Java programming language. So whatever the system.out.println is actually doing the job, the document get element by ID or document got write or document window is actually doing the things. So in order to see any information on the browser, we will use the document dot things. All right. So in order to see into the console section, then we will use console dot log. So that's how it is. That's what I'm trying to say. And now going forward, let's go ahead and do some practices. All right. So in the JavaScript, guys, okay, so in the JavaScript, I can actually do it. That is let a is equals to, you can pass the value that is 25. And I'll say that is, let b is equals to, say it is like, okay, so it is 30. And we can do that is, okay, c is equals to, c is equal to a plus b. We can do this way. And you can do that is console dot log. All right. And sum of console dot log, sum of a and b. Okay. A and b are c like that. All right. So like this. All right. So when I just come back to the browser, okay, now this one, okay, so simply come back to the browser. All right, simply come back to the browser here. Now just okay, so wait a second, so browser is not open here, I think. Is it okay? So it is not open here. So now in here, like, okay, so I'll come back to VS Studio Code, right click and get that, like what, not in the JavaScript, it is in the index.html. Right click on that and just get into open with a live server. Time. Okay, so now you can see this was the alert. This was the alert that what we made in, right? So if I just click on the alert, until unless the alert is not addressed, we do not give an access to get inside the website. Simple as that. If I click on that alert, then we are get into that is login successful and at the same time, okay, login successful and at the same time, this is completely document.element by ID. And at the same time, if I get into inspects and under the console section, we have that information that you can say this here, that is sum of a and b is 55. Okay, sum of a and b is 55. Okay, so if you wanted to write anything to the console, okay, so you wanted to write anything to the console, we just use that is console.log. But now I want this information on the browser. Okay, so on the browser we need to say this is with the script element, or sorry, script tag. With the help of script tag, all right, yeah, of course it is JavaScript element, and of course it is HTML element also. All right, but yeah, script is mainly used for JavaScript only. All right, JavaScript only, and using this we can actually write the particular thing. And now in here also we can make it up. So I'll say it that is variable, and I'll say that is num1 is equal to, assign some values, that's 35, and again I'll say that is variable, and this is num2 equals to, I'll assign the value as like, let's say it is 45, and now I'll here variable, and I'll say that is in a sum is equals to, that is num1. All right, it is num1 plus num2. All right, so now in here, so how to make it one? Okay, yeah, as usual, that is, you can simply say that is document.write, using the document.write, not ln, and I can say it here, that is sum of number is sum. All right, so come back to the browser and just check that. Okay, so again the alert, click OK, and now in here, that is number is 80. The sum of two numbers is 80. So let me close my console here, and there you are. Okay, so this is another way of, okay, another way of output values on the browser. This is the sentence which is coming from the previous document.write. And to be said it here, that is document.write doesn't have a new line concept. It doesn't have a new line concept. So that's why it is coming in here. So most of the cases, like, we have one more, possibility writing that is, ln to this. Okay, just check. If I write ln, what happens? Control save it and come back here and then just say okay. Okay, so nothing had happened here. Okay, so nothing had happened here. So there is no something called as like ln. We generally do it in system.out.print ln, right? So ln is new line. So but when it is coming to here, there is no new line concept. All right, it appears to be ln, but it doesn't seems to be that same. Okay, particularly. All right. So, but however, to be set it as an answer, like document.write element that can be providing information on the browser. Remember that. All right. And within this document.get element also. Okay. Document.get element also. So this inner HTML, right? So whatever the double quote you have in here. So you can call your sum here too. You can call your sum here also. All right. So when you say this is equal to symbol, right? So right hand side, the right hand side value get assigned to the left hand side value, and left hand side value is responsible. This is responsible to display on the screen. All right, responsible to display on the screen. Okay, so let me just say okay here, and it is said undefined. See, undefined. So we need to make it as like proper defined and everything. All right. So these type of practices we're gonna see it in the future classes or future sessions. All right. So just stay tuned. All right. I can see the sum of the numbers are 80, and you want to see it on the console. You want to see it on the console. It is the sum of 55 here. So what I'm trying to say here, it is like the console.log, document.write, and document.get element by ID, and windows.alert. So these are all the places where we can actually see the outcome on the screen, guys. That's what my major explanation on this particular topic. All right. So going forward. Okay, so let's talk about what is let and what is block and what is all those things. Okay, but to be precise here, when we get into the much more, the programming sections, okay, much more programming sections as like, okay, so if statements, loop statements, that's where we will actually create the blocks. And in that blocks, it is responsible. Okay, it is responsible to talk more on it. But anyways, just for a basic information at the moment of this, the data types can be utilized with the where keyword, with the let keyword, okay, with the const keyword. All right, so I might be using all those things going forward. Just kindly focus on the same. Okay, so now going forward, without any further ado, let's take the next concept. Okay, so hope everything is clear until here. Okay, so how to take the variable and how to assign it to it, and maybe you might can have the little confusion here creating the document element. All right, so what do I do is I'll show it to you here. Okay, I'll show it to you once again. So let me just minimize, and in the meantime increase the font size for the better understanding, for the better watch. All right, so I could see that is 16, like make it as like 20, and this thing is fine, I guess. All right, now coming back to this. All right, so now what do I do is, okay, instead of writing all these things, all right, instead of writing all these things, just take a look. So within the script folder, okay, within the script folder, I'll say that is document dot get element. All right, not get animation, sorry, get element by ID hello JavaScript. Okay, so now in here, so this demo is, if this demo is not taken, you can say this, if I don't take this as a demo and I just keep it as like empty ID, and I'll not take this too. Okay, but anyways, let me just keep the empty ID, control save it, and if I come back and click on like open live server now, okay, nothing has come out on the screen. Okay, so login successful, and you can see the sentence. What sentence? This one, hello JavaScript. This is not coming on the screen, first thing. And second is, if you don't use the element, if you don't use the element, and by eventually I know I will type it as like demo, because demo is a word which is used most common practice. And if I just reload, nothing is on the screen. So now in here, in order to get this sentence, I need to assign it to the ID. ID is nothing but an object. Okay, so now in here it is a p tag. So within the p tag, you just need to take an ID. ID is an object. Remember, when we are dealing with the div class container or div IDs, okay, so when we trying to do that, right, we trying to do that, right? So this role said is like objects, and I explained the more on that particular. So now in here we can say that is as like demo, and whatever the name you will take it here, you should take it inside here. So that's where it will work. And now there you are, hello JavaScript. All right, so and for you are not confusing here, let me just take off these sentences. Okay, save it and come back here. This is what the hello JavaScript. All right, so now coming back to this, if I take one more ID, sir, okay, so I'll say that is as like, okay, so PID and is equals to, so I'll say that is as like, demo another. All right, demo another. So this is an element where the object is actually mapping to the p tag. All right, so for the p tag, again, I'll say here as like, okay, so document dot get element, and you can say that is, get another dot HTML, hello JavaScript again. Okay, so these two sentences is actually making the two different object call for the HTML element which is created. If I come back to the browser here, there you are, hello script again. So what I'm trying to say is that we need to create an ID in order to, okay, so in order to use this document dot get element ID, and that's what the function is saying. Get element, how it's supposed to be taken, how it get is nothing but to receive. How to receive? That is using ID. ID is nothing but an object. Okay, so that's how it is. And you need to create the different modules, so different HTML elements in order to access these things. Remember that. In order to access these things. Without the ID creation, we won't be able to display any information which is coming in at this moment of this, guys. Okay. Okay, hope the things is clear. And one more thing. Since because I want this information, that is, hello JavaScript again on the browser, right? On the browser. So that's the reason we need to use a script tag within the body. But if you wanted to see it on the console, you can write the console here, not a problem. Okay, console.log, not a problem. All right, so you can say the ls script, this is at, right? So this is at console. This is at console log. All right, save it and come back to the browser. Right click, get into inspect, and under the console section. So hello script, this is at the console log. This is how it is. So these are the previous statements which are being executed so far. In order to take off these things, you just need to click on this one, clear console. Click on this and reload your browser. It's coming from there. Okay, so this is a test, all those things. All right, clear it and reload. So all these are the console.log. So console.log, which is written in the JavaScript.file, as well as under the HTML, under the body section. If you return the body section also, the console will work in here. So console is open for it at this moment of time. But when it is coming to get the element by ID, of course, we need to create a ID for the p tag. Okay, so this is the common practice that we need to follow in the JavaScript, guys. Remember that. So how many demo class that how many ID that I can create? You can create n number of that. Okay, so I'll say it here, that is PID. And for example, I'm dealing with the registry, I'm dealing with the login, or I'm dealing with the home button, or I'm dealing with the something animation, I'm dealing with the something on the browser, all right? So something in the order. Okay, so let's assume that, okay, I'm running a website which is about like ticket management system. All right, so the booking system, payment system, ticket generation system, okay, logging system, register system, so like that. So all the different modules, right? We can give a different naming. So we can say it here as like, login. Okay, I'll say the p tag here, right? So now come back here, and then you can say that is as like, okay, so document.get element. Okay, so document, all right, so document.get element, okay, get element by ID. And in the bracket, it is like login, double quotes and comma, and dot, it is like inner HTML. All right, so now you can say that is login successful. Okay, you can say login successful. Of course, it will come on the login successful on the screen. Okay, there you are. Okay, so login successful is here. Okay, so not that one actually. I think that login successful, yes, that's a login successful. I think, yeah, no, maybe no. This login successful is something different. Okay, so now you can see. This is something to print, but okay, reload where it has gone. Spelling, okay, spelling, document, space, come back. There you are, login successful. So whatever you type it here as a data, sorry, that as an ID, and whatever you write it in the double quotes, that will comes on the screen, and this is where we will map it. Okay, this is where we will map it. All right, so the mapping is using the HTML element. What element is the p tag? So now you can ask me like, sir, is it necessary that only the p tag has to be taken care here? No, it's okay. So we can take the h1, h2, h3, h4, that also. So I'll say that is an h2 tag here, and I'll use the, I'll close the h2 tag here. All right. So I'll close the, okay, h2 tag here. All right. Okay, save it, come back, and there you are. So this login successful, and it got changed. The font size is changed, font color is changed, font appearance is changed, because h1, h2, h3, h4, h5, h6 are the heading elements that we had seen in the basic HTML, right? So I have a video also in the YouTube, so you can just access on that particular as well. All right. So now in here, whatever the tag that you will use it, so it will take that information on the screen, guys. All right, it is not mandated using the paragraph, but generally we will use the paragraph as a good practice. But h2 is also good practice, h3 is also good practice, h4 is also good practice, h5 is also good practice, h6 also good practice, depending on how you're going to design on your browser, I mean website. Okay, so creating this ID is really important in order to use the get element by ID. And the general best practice is using the get element by ID itself is like considered to be more best practice. Okay. Now, without any further ado, so those are all the very, very basics. All right. So hope you guys understood like what these all things and everything. Now, going forward, it is like JavaScript operators. Okay. So as usual operators, that what we have seen in the other programming languages as well. Okay. So we have the very first is like here, that is arithmetic operators. All right. And the second one is, it is comparison operators, that is relation. Okay, comparison is also nothing but a relational operators. All right, so comparison. All right, comparison operators. All right, and we have bitwise operators. All right, bitwise operators. Okay, and we have logical operators. Same thing that what we have seen in other programming languages as well. So we have the same thing here too. All right, so there might be a little change here and there, but yeah, it's everything is fine. So comparison, and as well as there is something called relational operators. Both are same, but we have, some little changes than compared to the both. We will see like comparison as well as relational operators, both, not to worry about it. And we have, there is something called unary operator, and we are much more well versed about the unary operators as well. That is nothing but increment and decrement things. All right. And we have, there is something called, where we just know, that is assignment operators, right? And now there is something called comma operators. All right. So comma operator is nothing but it is a separator operator. Will separates the thing. We'll get to see. I'll give you the complete information on that. The new thing that we can see, it is like there is something called big int operator. Okay. Big int operators. Okay. And one more important is, that is string operators. It is not string operators, not strong operators. It is string operators. All right. So this is the 10 operators that what we can see in the JavaScript. All right. And basically, and basically, all the operators remain same. Okay, all the operators are remain same. We will see one after the next. All right. We'll see the one after the next, and we will make use of them in particular. And one more thing, guys. Okay. So I'll directly say it is that there is something called, let's talk to the assignment operator in the first place, because assignment operator is nothing but it is equal to symbol. So equal to symbol is nothing but, all right. So the equal to symbol is like, it is said to be, that is LHS equal to RHS. All right. So, but in general mathematics, like left hand side is equal to right hand side, but when it is come to computer language, or when it is come to, this computer language, what it says, like, whatever at the right hand side, it will get assigned to your left hand side. That's the beauty of this. All right, it is not said to be like LHS equal to RHS. No, no, no. It is said to be RHS value is assigned to the variable name that what we have taken. See, for example, if I say that is let x equal to 10 over here. Right, when we say let x equal to 10, that doesn't mean that, okay, so x is equal to 10, okay, but it means that x value is 10. X value is 10. That is why we will do this way. That is console.log, and we'll say that is x inside, because x consists the value. X consists the value. So the output is going to be 10. So the output is going to be 10. That's how it is. All right, the output is going to be 10. That's how it is. Because why am I saying x over here? Because this value is given to this. So that's what I'm trying to say. So assignment operator is nothing but equal to. Remember that. Remember that. Now, coming back to the arithmetic operator. So arithmetic operator, we have addition. Okay, we have a subtraction. All right, we have a subtraction. As usual, guys. Okay, we have a subtraction. We have a multiplication. All right, so we have a division. All right, and we have a modulus. All right, we have a modulus. All right, or you can say that is modulus, LUS. All right, we have a modulus, division, modulus, and that's it. Okay. Okay, so addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus. Okay, so addition is said to be it is plus. Okay, subtraction is said to be it is minus, of course, and the multiplication is said to be just the star. We do not have X mark, we have a star. All right, so the division is forward slash, and modulus is it is percentile. It is percentile. All right, so let's go back and do some practices on this and come back. All right, and when it is okay, but before that, let me just give it to you the complete information out here at this moment of time. Okay, so only in the JavaScript. All right, only in the JavaScript we can see there is something called not double equal to. So double equal to is equal to. This says it is a relational operator, but when it's come to comparison operator, direct comparison operator, we will use triple equal to. Okay, triple equal to. So whether it is directly equals or not equals, that's how it will compare. Okay, so we'll use a symbol that is triple equal to. See, for example, if I take that is x equal to, okay, or not like that. Okay, so you just need to compare. Like I will say that is, so x equal to 5, and I'll just say that is x is greater than 5, and I'll check that, and I'll check that. All right, I'll check that. Okay, I'll check that. That is 10 is equal to okay, equal to 5, like that. Okay, or we will say that is like 5 is equal to 3, like that. All right, I'll check that the condition, I'll check that with the value. So this is where the comparison is completely happening in here. Okay, so not only just equal to, it's like equal to and comparison and equal to, that's what it says, comparison and equal to. Okay, so don't worry, once I'll take an explanation or once I take an example, you will understand. All right, and the bitwise operator, obviously the bitwise operator is AND operator, that is bitwise AND operator. All right, AND operator, that is like ampersand, and bitwise OR operator, that is the parallel line, and bitwise the XOR operator, that is cap, and bitwise NOT operator, that is exclamatory, that is tilted, negation. All right, and when it is coming to logical operator, obviously it is logical AND operator. All right, logical AND operator, and logical OR operator, and logical NOT operator. So the logical AND operator can be represented with the help of double ampersand, OR is double forward slash, and NOT is exclamatory. And that's what, these are all the syntaxes that we use in order to deal all these things. Okay, so we will see one after the next, maybe in the next, coming coming short period of time. Okay, and now coming back to relational, obviously it is equal to, it is not equal to, and it is lesser than, and it is greater than, lesser than, equal to, and simple as that, it is greater than, equal to. All right, and unary operator, it is like, okay, so the post or a pre-increment, and post or a pre-decrement. All right, de-increment. All right, so now when it is coming to post or a pre-increment, sir, we will use plus plus. Okay, we'll use plus plus, and for the decrementer we will use minus minus. All right, minus minus. We will see one after the next on this particular, but as of now, please register these things in your brain. Okay, so this type things it's going to work, and the comma operator is like a comma. Okay, comma operator is a comma which actually going to separate the values. All right, remember that. Okay, separate the values on that particular. All right, remember that. All right, so in using the comma, right, we can actually assign the multiple things, like for example, okay, for example, so we can take a const and you can say that is something called as like result equal to, and within this, within the bracket, I'll say that is n1 equal to 10 comma n2 equals to 20 comma, and you can say that is, you can say that is n1 plus n2. Okay, so the moment when you say comma, right, the moment when you say the comma, right, it separates. Okay, so it's separator operator. This is the first this is the first element, this is the second element, and this is the last element. All right, so both, I mean, all the three are representing to the number itself. That is, the answer is going to be 30, like that, like that. And when it is come to, all right, when it is come to the big integers, okay, so big integer as I just given just above, okay, as I come like this, so the big integers we'll use only the big numbers. We will use only the big numbers and have them like the arithmetic operator applied to that. That is how we would just need to see. And string operators are really, really important one. String operators are really, really important one. And these actually, like, so we will have a string concatenation, right? String concatenation, concatenation. Okay, string concatenation is nothing but combining two strings, combining, okay, combining two strings together, combining two strings together. All right, so that's how it is, that's how it will come in. But anyways, we'll see more of the next into that particular, guys. Need not to worry about it, and we will have. And one more thing, very, very important, very, very important, that is ternary operator. How can I miss? All right, so ternary operator is one of the strong operator under all the operators that what we have in things. I mean, what we have in operators. All right, so ternary operator is like it can replace the if and else conditional statements, like that, right? So what you'll have, you will have a condition check, right? The syntax is like, okay, so you will have a condition check. Okay, so you will have a condition, and that condition, if it is true, okay, so this part will execute. Okay, so this condition, okay, so this condition is like question mark. If the condition is true, this will print. Okay, true thing will print, otherwise the false will print. All right, all right, so if this condition is true, whatever, if this condition is true, whatever that the logic that you have written in the first place, that will get executed. Okay, so if it is not true, if it is not true, then if it is false, then this particular statement will get executed in the ternary operator. So these are all the operators that we can see in the JavaScript, guys. Okay, so one after the next we're going to implement it. So please kindly focus. All right, so I'll just get these things done. All right, I'll come back to my VS Studio, and within the VS Studio, okay, so the color is not seeming good. Okay, so let's just make some color change in another way around. Okay, so yeah, I'll go for this now. Okay, so now in guys, now in here, guys. So what do I do is under the script.js. Okay, you want to utilize it under the script.js, under this one, that's up to you. Don't wanna, you can do it over the HTML, that's it. But if you ask me, like, okay, so if you ask me, if you ask me that javascript.js is a separate file to be created in order to practice the JavaScript, that's the best practice to be set. All right, so now going forward, sir. Now in here, so what do I do is, let's deal with arithmetic operator. Arithmetic operator. All right, arithmetic operators. And now in here, yes, of course, what do I do is, instead of taking let's just take a const this time. I'll say that is const, okay, const, and I'll take some values. I'll take that is my, okay, number one, okay, number one is equals to, okay, so number one is equals to, let's say it is 5, and I'll say that is again const, like const num2 is equal to 10, and const sum is equal to num plus sum is equal to num plus 1. And at this moment of a time, I'll say that is console.log, and within the console.log, okay, so within the console.log, so I'll use that is sum is equal to sum, or we can write it here. Okay, so we can write it here. That is like what? We can write it in the double quotes, that is adding, adding 5 and 10 is and colon and space. Okay, and that's what we said it, and the output is going to be 15, of course. Output is going to be 15, right? So now in here, okay, so now in here. So once again, I'll take one more const here. All right, we can make the difference as well. Okay, we can make the difference as well. That is num1, num2. IntelliSense is actually giving me the complete thing into this particular, so you can just make the practice of this. Product is like this, and the console will be like this, and the quotient like this, and the dividing like this. So all the four things currently ready present in my JavaScript. Okay, hope you guys are actually following into this particular. All right, and one more thing, guys. Okay, so whatever you write it, please kindly save it. Kindly save it. And now going forward, the modulus. All right, the modulus. It is a reminder, and hit and enter and the console.log. Okay, console.log. And we have an exponent as well. You can see exponent. Exponent is nothing but it's a power. It's a power. So that means I just missed it here. Okay, so it is not only just the modulus, we have a exponent. Exponent. All right, so exponent is nothing but it's a power. It's a power. So now in here, okay, so this is where I performed. Okay, so this is where I performed. Okay, so this is where I perform the addition operation, right? So I perform the addition, and addition is nothing but so not in here, actually I'm printing that. Okay, so this is where I'm perform the addition, and this is where I'm printing it. Okay, so expecting an output, right? Okay, so it's like printing. So I'll say that is printing the result. All right, printing the result. All right, so and this is where I have performed. I have performed what? Okay, not in this here, I guess. Okay, come back here. Okay, so here it is subtraction, right? And here it is printing the result, right? And here it is update the multiplication, and here I have print the value like that. See, commenting is really, really important for any of the coding that you have made in, because commenting which actually makes the code to read. That means the readability will be increased. Okay, so very simple concept at this moment of time, guys. Okay, so you can just follow it part of time. Okay, so it's a division over here and the division, and it is printing the result over here. And now in here we are going for a quotient. Quotient is nothing but it is like percentile, and you guys know what is modulus. If it is not, I'll be telling it, I'll be explaining it once again. Just focus. All right, so this is not increment, it is exponential. It's like since the power of a number, you can say power of a number. All right, so and this is where I'm printing it up. Okay, this is where I'm printing the result. See, for example, now in here what I've taken is, okay, so what I've taken is the value is, that is the num1. Okay, the num1 is 5, right? And num2 is, okay, so num2 is 10, sir, right? So now when I do, that is num plus 1, okay, num plus num2. When I do num1 plus a num2, of course it will work like 5 plus 10, and it will assign the value as like 15. Okay, and this expression is actually assigned to the sum. So this expression is at the right hand side, and right hand side value is given to the left hand side. It is assigned actually. So 5 plus 10 is going to be 15, and now the sum value is 15. So if I say that is console.log, if I say that is console.log here, console.log, and if I say that is as like sum, all right, so I'll get the value for this is like 15 on the screen. That's how it worked. That's how it will work. And likewise, the situation will remain same for the other. Again, situation will remain same for the other thing as well, for the difference, for the product, for everything. Okay. So now in here, so when it is come to the difference, it is like num1 minus num2. So what is num1, sir? Num1 is 5 and num2 is 10. So 10, okay, so 5 minus 10, which yields in terms of minus, that is minus 5. Because first number is lesser than compared to the second number, and with the sign convention, whichever the highest number has it, so we need to take that sign. So like the 5 minus 10 is going to be 5. All right, so that's how it is. But anyways, this minus 5 is assigned to the difference, because the assignment operator, and this difference this difference is actually called. This difference is actually called, and that means the difference is storing as like 5, like that. So when it's coming to the product is again, so that is num1 is 5, and that is into 10, and okay, 10 5s it is 50, and this 50 is given to the product, and product is getting the console.log. All right, so the console.log, as it is says, what it does do, it is going to display on the screen. Okay, so display in the console section. So that means I can see it on the browser, display the values on the browser. All right, so on the console section of the browser. All right, so I can say on the browser as well, not a problem. All right, and this is where the output, what I can say, this is the output, that right, of course, it is output. So now going forward, that is like 5 divided by 10. So 5 is getting divided by 10, so that is 5 ones are 5 twos are, okay, 5 ones are 5 twos are. So the question, dividing 10 by, okay, number 1 is dividing 10 by 5. Okay, so it is a reverse order, that is 5 by 10, like this. Okay, so that is 5 ones or 5 twos. Either you can that or this. So if you do this, you will get a value as like 2. If you do this, it is like 1 by 2, so that is 0.5. Okay, what am I trying to say is that whatever the expression that you are applied, that is assigning to the left hand side, and the same value is getting printed on the console.log, and this is how we will do it. So but in general, not in general actually, so in Java we will use for anything that is like system.out.println, right, system.out.println. All right, and this is actually displays the value, right? So like that the console.log is doing for me, which is going to display on the screen. That's how it is. Okay, so now in here, when it is coming to different programming languages, the concept is same. Okay, the logic building is same. Okay, so thinking is same, but the representation, the syntactic representation, syntax. Okay, syntactic representation means the code that you are writing here. Okay, so this syntactic representation is different, but when it is, but the logic, but the design and everything remains same. This remains same in every other programming language. C is C++. Okay, so Java, Python, whatever it is. Java, Python, whatever it is. Okay, so concept is same. All the concept is same, but the representation, the syntactic representation is only the difference, and that's what it makes the difference, and that's it. Nothing more than that. Okay, so thinking that you guys have understood here, I'll save it, and I'll come back to my browser. And within this browser, okay, so not in the Google Chrome, sorry, it is in the Microsoft Edge. So I'll just right click on that and get into inspect, and under the inspect, okay, under the console here, okay, you can see adding 5 or 10 is 15, subtracting 5 of 10 is -5, multiplying 5 and 50 is, sorry, 5 and 10 is 50, dividing 10 by 5 is 0.5, and remainder 10, okay, remainder of 10 by 5 is 5, and 5 raised to the power of 2, that means 25, and the hellos, this is the console. Okay, so this is the console which is already written at the last sentence, I guess. Okay, not in that, here in the HTML, all right, so there you are, console dot, this is the one. Okay, so that's why everything is going to the console. And we can actually use the document.getElement by ID as well, so we can just make that one particular, but don't worry, going forward I'll get the things done, you not to worry about it. Okay, so and as of now the CSS is not working properly. I mean, not working properly, no, the CSS is not utilized yet. Okay, so let's just do some styling for that. So what will I do is I'll say that is in a body tag here, and within the body tag I'll say that is margin, I'll keep it as like 0, and I'll just give some the background color. Okay, so and yeah, you can use the font color, font size and the color for that, and the display is like flex, and justify the container. Okay, and align, that's it. Okay, save it, come back to the browser. Okay, save it, come back to the browser, and now in here just reload. Okay, it did not work. Okay, it did not work because the styles.css is not actually binded to the index.html. That's where our the entry point, right? So let's make the CSS is also read by the HTML. So for that reason, I need to come at the header section again, and here we need to say that is like, okay, so the link rel, all right, link rel. Okay, and here is like double quotes. Within the double quotes, you will say that is style sheet, and within this href, the style.css is nothing but it's a file name which is created here. Is a file name which is created here. All right. So this one, sorry. Okay. So this is the file name which is created here. So that has to be that has to be given here. Okay. So what if I have a different file name? You just need to take the same file name here, whatever it is. Now come back to the browser. Okay. Come back to the browser. Reload. And you can say that it's like refuse to apply the style for this because the MIME text is HTML. It is not supported with the style sheet MIME and MIME checked enable. So don't use this. Okay, don't use this. Just directly say HTML and just say that. Okay, still it is the same. Okay, still it is the same. So MIME type. Okay, so MIME type is something which is supposed to be supported by an. All right. And one more thing, I think there is something that is okay. So this character is set up. So these things is certainly not make any problem. Okay, not make any problem, but however, sometimes it just giving the error. There might be some uh, 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 okay, so sometimes it makes just some little problem, but to be precise, okay, so let me rerun it. It might be same error. It might be a same error because the MIME type is the same. So when it is considered as like text, HTML text, it is not supported style sheet. So now need not to worry about it. Okay. So we will read all these things going forward because console is a place where we see the multiple errors. Okay, multiple errors, and for your understanding, you can just check it over here. Okay, you can just check it over here, like that's just googling out on the thing. But as of now, this is not the place where we just need to implement all these things. But anyways, now I'm just trying to tell you that how to map. Okay, so how to map these things to the HTML, because HTML is the entry point. So HTML entry point, CSS is the next, and the JavaScript is the next. Okay, so that's how it is. That's how we will work in. So going forward, the next operator. Okay, I'll come back to the CSS later. That's really not my concern at this moment of time. So my concern is JavaScript. All right. So going to the second operator now. So what is this? Okay, hope thinking that everything is fine at this moment. Okay, everything is fine at this moment. All right, everything is fine at this moment. So if it is not, like, just can sit at the corner of room and do the practices. If you got any doubts, please reach me out. So going forward, okay, I'll just make use of the next operator. All right. So the next is, let's talk to the assignment operator. Okay, assignment operator is, as I mentioned, it is equal to, first thing first is equal to, and assignment is equal to along with, okay, along with arithmetic operator. That's absolutely the arithmetic operators, that is plus, okay, that is minus. Okay, so that's how it is. That's how it is. Okay, and it is used to assign the values to a variable. Of course, I've just mentioned the same thing. All right, so now let's just come back here and provide some values and get the things done. And you can see, okay, so when you say, okay, let me tell you this way. I'll say there is plus equal to, right? It is plus equal to, at the same time minus equal to, and star equal to, and star star equal to. So this is how we will represent. Okay, so representing, all right, representing assignment operator. Okay, assignment operator along arithmetic, okay, so whenever we see assignment operator, okay, whenever we see the assignment operator, all right, so it has to be like this. It has to be implemented over the arithmetic operator. And to be said it here is that, guys, okay, for example, if I say it here, okay, so for example, let's say it is like, okay, so so I'll say that is n equals to, let's take it as like, okay, so it is like 10, fine, no problem. And now in here, okay, yes, of course, okay, so now in here I'll say that is n plus equals to 5. N plus equals to 5. So this expression is going to be written. All right. So this expression is explained in such a fashion that n is equal to n plus 5. Okay, so n is equal to n plus 5. So what I'm trying to say it at this time is like when you say n plus, that means n is twice. N is supposed to be taken 2 times. All right. So not only just with the plus, okay, not only just with the plus, even if you take minus, if you take a star, okay, if you take a forward slash, if you take double star slash, so like that. So that means whenever you use the arithmetic operator here, make sure that you will use or you will consider the n is twice. One is for assignment, one is for the expression. So this expression, the n plus n n plus equal to 5 is the expression is written like n is equal to n plus 5. Okay, so now going forward, what is the, okay, so n is equal to, what is the n value I have taken, that is 10, and that is added with the 5, and the value is going to be, n is equal to 15 is going to happen, and that's what you can see at the bottom. So I can use that is console.log, that is n plus 5 is this. Okay, n plus 5 is this, so that means the output should be 15. Okay, output is should be 15. Output is should be 15. Understanding? I'm trying to use some other stuff in here. Okay, okay. So n is should be 15. So like that. I'll just use it. So you can say it here. That is arithmetic. Okay, so addition. All right, addition assignment operator. Addition assignment operator. So this addition assignment operator. So now going forward, all right, so going forward, you can say the subtraction addition operator. So I'll say that is n is equal to 5, and of course it's going to the 10, and it is like the same. All right, so my IntelliSense is pretty much easy at this moment of time. It's giving me a suggestion that what is supposed to be written. All right, so now if I say the multiplication, I'll say that is like, n star equals to, okay, so you can take not only just the 5, you can take any value. I'll just say I'll just say 3 this time. Okay, I'll say this the 3 this time. So how we can actually write this expression can be written it as like, how do we return it as like, okay, so it is like n equals to n star 3, n equal to n star 3. Right, n equal to n star 3. So what is an n equal to? Okay, so n equal to, what is n value? N value is 10. Okay, so 10 star 3, and the value is going to be, that is n is equal to 30. Right, like that. So simple as that, I feel so. So now going forward, n space forward slash, okay, let's say 4 this time, forward slash equal to 4 this time. You can pass the value, the different values as well. It is not mandated that you will use 5 only. You can use any number of n number. So I'll say that is here like, console.log, okay, console.log, and this expression is going to give you the, this expression is going to give you the 7.5, and this is where the multiplication, okay, this is where the multiplication assignment operator can be done. All right, so now in here, okay, so now in here, multiplication, division, and this is subtraction, and this is addition. All right, so that's how it is. Okay, so that's how it is. Okay, so this will be like, saved. Okay, so going forward, we will have a modulus assignment operator. Modulus is again n is equal to, and again the console.log. Okay, so here we will use that is console.log, and that is n, and 1.5 is going to come, and the exponential assignment operator is also the same, that is n equal to. So you can use any number, guys, any number that you are trying to showcase at this moment of a time. So I'll say it is like console.log, and like this. All right, so like this. So everything is a right present. Okay, everything is a right present right there. All right, so we just need to use plus equal to, or minus equal to, or star equal to, or forward slash equal to, or percentile equal to, or double star equal to. So that's where the assignment operator happens in. Okay, so if you come back to the browser again, and you can see your console, it is like 15, 10, 30, 7.5, 1.5, 2.25, and this is what it's going to happen. All right, and as I mentioned that whatever you take in the double quotes, all right, so you can say this here. What I'm going to do is I would like to take one line in here. I'll say that is as like, okay, so console.log, all right, console.log and double quotes and a line like this, of course. All right, so I'll take a one line like this, all right, double quotes like this. All right, so whatever you take and between the double quotes here, okay, whatever you take between the double quotes, all right, whatever you take in the between the double quotes, this particular line comes as just like that, is just like that. Come back here, so you You can see. So the above is something different and the below is something different now. Above is something different, below is something different now. Okay, above is something different and below is something different. So that's how it is. All right, so coming back to that. Okay, like that, we will use just plus equal to, minus equal to, star equal to. Okay, okay, all those things, all those things. All right, so hope this is going good. Okay, so that's how it is, guys. Right, that's how it is. Now going forward again. All right. So not only just that, okay, so you can just come back here. So not only just that script.js file supposed to be written so long later. You can see almost like 58 lines of code has been written. So you can just make the different change out. So what do I do is, okay, so within this JavaScript folder, I'll create one more file and I'll say it as like, okay, so the operators. All right. So I'll say that is operators. All right. So hit and enter. So within this operators, okay, so anyway, the arithmetic and the assignment operator has been done. So I'll take one more new file. Okay, I'll take a new file under the operators file. Okay, under the operators, I think this has been created a new file. I'm sorry. So let's just create a new folder. All right, so within this JavaScript, I'll click this folder symbol and I'll say here it is like operators. All right, operators. All right, so hit enter. And in this operator, click on this, the new file symbol and take the new file at this moment of a time. So let's just take it as like, so what is the next operator that we're going to see? So say it as like, okay, so comparison, I'll come back to the little later, need not to worry. So like I'll come back here like, logical. All right, so logical operator dot, and you can say CS. I mean, sorry, JS, not CS. Logical.js. So when you say the logical.js, so this file is currently ready to take the JavaScript code. It is ready to take the current JavaScript code. All right, so at this moment of a time, so, okay, so I just want to say this. I'll say that is console.log. Okay, I'll say console.log and I'll say that is as a bracket and I'll say this is test again. All right, so this is, all right, this is coming from logical.js file. I'll take the sentence. All right, and what do I do? What do I do? I simply come back to index.html and here in this HTML, I'll say that is script file. All right, I'll say the script file. I'll say that is as like script src equals to, okay, src equals to, and now at this moment of a time, okay, at this moment of a time, let's just do this way. That is, the logical is actually present in the JavaScript and in the operators and in the in the logical operator. So here, let's just get back into this complete file name. Complete file name is like, I'll say that is operators / logical.js. Okay, so this is how we will map it. Okay, this is how we will map it. Okay, under the operators logical.js. Okay, so there might be chances that you can directly say this way, like, if you don't know or how to do it. Okay, so you can say double quotes, you can say that is dot and / and you can say, okay, so dot. Okay, so you can say that is / and you can take JavaScript and a / it's like operators and / logical, like this. So this is how you need to map your files. You need to map your files. Okay, so when you're coming to JavaScript, that is the main folder and this is a subfolder and this is a file. All right, so this naming convention, okay, so this file, the path, providing the path is really important thing. All right, so this is really important thing, because if you not write all these things, then the interpreter will not understand like these codings where it is coming from, and it will not get a chance to access this file and we might miss the coding. So remember that. All right, so this file paths is really essential. Okay, so now anyways, I have did the two ways implementation here. That's okay. Just come back to the browser. Okay, so there you are. So hello script, this is at the console log. Okay, so you can see this is coming from the logical.js. You can see it is executed twice. It is executed twice. The reason why is I have taken it as like twice over here, right? So either you can take the above one or you can take the below one. So if you ask me that which would be the best, preferable on this particular, so this one is preferable. This one is most preferable because this will directly talks or this directly comes from the root directory. So it would be better if you use the line number 9 for mapping the file names. All right. So in this regard, so this means that we can use multiple JavaScript files and call it to the HTML file. Okay, now you can see it's coming from a logical.js. Okay, logical.js. Okay, so that's how it is. Now coming back to logical.js here, sir. Okay, so logical.js here, sir. Okay, so we know that. So let's just make some information at this point of time. So I'll say it is like what? Logical operators. So in the logical operators, sir, we have that is logical and operator. All right. We have there is something called logical and operator, right? Logical and operator. Okay, so the logical and operator is like it returns true. All right, if the both operands are true, otherwise it's false. Okay, it returns true. All right, it returns true if both the operands are true, otherwise it will be false. Okay, so I think that commenting is not working properly. Need to change the color, so make it as like little more visible. Okay, so it would be good if I take it some other darker color. Okay. Mhm. Okay, so these different types of styles, you can actually use a light high contrast. You will understand this. To make this change the color, right? The colors, right? So you can get into instructions here and you can just write it here, that is rain glow. Rain glow is one of the extension which gives you the different colors of a theme colors. All right. Okay, so you can just install this. You can just install this. This will give these many styles. These many styles. Rain glow. All right. These many styles. So out of this, like you can utilize anything out of it. Okay. So your browser will look. I mean, sorry, your VS Code will look like this. For the symbol, I just click on this image. So that's why it is just open there. All right. So if I wanted to be like set a color for that. Okay, so you can click on a set color and then you can just utilize that whatever it is. All right, and not only just the rain glow, you have a Shiffy rain glow as well. So these are the different coloring concepts where your font colors make change. All right. Okay, so extension is a place where you can actually have an extension. Without an extension, VS Code is nothing. Okay, so we have a Safira theme now. Okay, so let's just install the Safira theme. All right. So this will gives you, okay, so there you are, Safira dark and Safira high contrast. You have just two things, Safira dark and Safira high contrast. All right. So that's how it is. That's how it is, everything. So now I can see, yeah. Okay, so logical and operator returns true if both the operands are true, otherwise it is false. So what I mean to say is like if any first operand, all right, so let's say there is first operand. Okay, so first operand is responsible to offer certain things. Like so operand is like it should be true. Okay, true means it should return value. Okay, return value, right? Return value as 1. Okay, false means okay, false means as 0. Okay, so now in here, I'll say that is const. You can see that is const, and I'll say that is the first statement, or I can say that is a is equals to, I'll assign it as like a is equal to true. All right, a is equal to true, and I'll say that is const b is equals to, say it as like okay, false. Okay, first thing. But before that, let's just make the four different possibilities. I'll say that is again. So const. Okay, anyways, I'll make change here itself. All right. So very first, I'll keep it as like both are false. I'll keep it as like both are false. And now I would like to call it here. All right. So I'll then call that is console dot. So it is console dot log, and within this, I'll say yeah, like this. Okay. I'll say like this, A and a B is A and B. So output should be false, right? So if I come back to the browser, okay, so if I come back to the browser here, okay, if I come back to the browser here, okay, so it should give me false. A and B is false. The reason why is both are false. Okay, so now what do is I'll keep one false and I'll keep, okay, so now what I'll say, like say const A is equal to, I'll keep it as like false now, and I'll say that is const B is equals to, and I'll keep it as like true. It's like true. All right. And for this, I would like to check this out. And one more thing, guys. Here I'm getting an error. Why am I getting error? Because the naming convention. So this clearly means that the const value will not allow me to use the duplicates. All right. You know, to use the duplicates, right? So what do I do is, okay, so simply you select like this and press control and press and hold control and forward slash. The moment when you say the forward slash, it becomes the comment. Press and hold control and forward slash. If you make that one, it's a shorthand property to make the comment in the VS3 code. All right, so now in here, come back to the browser here and just reload, and there you are. A and B is still false. The reason why is because one is false, one is true. Okay, and I'll just make one more. Okay, so let me just comment this, or else let's just make some values. I'll say that this is like, okay, so it is like AA, okay, or you can say that is A cube, and this is AR, okay, BR, and I'll take it here that is A cube, and I'll say that is BR, okay, and here not BB, it is BR, and here is also A cube and BR. All right, so I had made the change, and you can once again select this control and once again forward slash. Once you say forward slash, it's comment. Again, same forward slash, it will remove like that. All right, so now coming back to it here, I'll say there is const. I'll say const, and now I'll say this time I'll take that is n is equals to, and I'll assign it to the true now. And now I'll say that is const. All right, const, and I'll take yum, and this time I'll make m is false. Okay, so above B was true, and now it is m was false. And now again, all right, so come back to the browser and just see that. Okay, again it is false. Okay, uncode n has already been taken. So you can see this is what it is. So when you take that is double number, I mean the duplicate value, okay, when you take a duplicate value, that's where it says, yeah, that is the duplications is not allowed. N has been taken somewhere. N has been taken somewhere. Okay, so here where the n is taken. So that's why it says that you cannot take it. So now what will say that is n and n. All right, and I'll apply n and n. Okay, so n n. Okay, save it, come back. And now you can see first is AQ is false, A and B is false, n and n is false. So the reason why I'm trying to say is any one operand is false. Any one operand, at least one operand is false. But it's going to be true. It's going to be true when I say that is, yeah, say x equals to true this time, and I'll say that is const y is equals to, say it is const y is equal to true, and now it is console.y, and just come back, save, and now it is true. So false, 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 true. Okay, it is like okay, false, 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 and true. So if it is not visible, I just made it a little bigger one. So false, 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 true. Okay, control plus, which increases the font size, guys, just zooms. All right, just zooms. All right, so now if any one operand is false, everything is false, false, false. And if any both the operand is true, then it is true. That's what the logical and that's what the logical and's beauty is. Okay, and going forward, we have what? We have logical OR operator now. And logical OR operator is like which returns true if any one operand is true, otherwise it is false. Any one operand. I can see, I'll say this const. Okay, A1 is equals to, A1 is equal to, it is false. Okay, so A1 is equal to false, and I'll take this as like the const B1 is equal to false. Both are false now. When both are false, of course, the answer should be false. Okay, what is it trying to say? It trying to returns true if any one operand is true. Any one operand. So now A1 is operand, B1 is operand. All right, so we can say, okay, so this is first operand, right? This is, okay, so first operand, right? And this is second operand, right? This is second operand. So any one of these should be false, but both are false, that's why it is false. Now going forward, I'll say that is okay, so it is like a2 equal to, so the any one is false, all right, and this is true now, and now it should be true, right? Now it should be true. Now come back to the browser and just see the output. So because the first operand is false, but the second operator is true, so the answer should be true. Answer should be true. All right, so come back to the browser. Just go back and see that. There you are. See, OR operator. A1, B1 is false. A2, B2 is true. A1, B1 is false and A2, B2 is true. Okay, so like that. So like that. So like that. Okay, so now once again, so I'll go to the const and let's just say A3 is true and B3 is false. Again, any one operand is true, and of course it is true. And again, const. Okay, so it is like const A4 is true, both the operands should be true now, and then I'll definitely yield with the true. So saying what the point at this moment over time is, if I just draw the truth table for the both. Okay, if I draw the truth table for the both things. Okay, so for the logical and the logical OR operator. Okay, so here is my first input, here is my second input, and this is my logical A and B. A and B. So if this is false and if this is false, answer is false. Answer is false. And if it is false, if it is true, answer is false. And if this is true and this is false, answer is still false. But if it is true, then only it is true. That's your logical AND operator. And likewise, if I create the logical OR operator truth table, okay, logical OR operator truth table here, it is like, so this is again A operand, it is again B operand, and it is A or B operand. All right, so now in here, so if it is false and if it is false, it is false. Okay, so both the operands are false, that's why it is false. But what the logical OR operator says is that any one operand should be true. So now A is true now and B is false, and it is true. That's where the first choice is. And next is A operand is false and B operand is true, then still the answer is true. Still the answer is true because any one output should be true. And when it is both operands are true and are true, of course it is true. Okay, so this is the difference between the logical OR and the logical AND. Logical OR and logical AND operator between the same things. In AND operator, if any one is false, it is false. In logical operator, is any one is true, it is true. Any one is true, it is true. But only both are false. Only when both are false, then it is false. Then it is false. But in the logical AND operator, both should be true, then only true. Otherwise, it is false. So that this is the difference. This is the difference that we see in terms of logical OR and logical AND operator, guys. Okay, so these are all the really important things and really important stuff in order to understand the going further going forward coding. All right, then this is the very basic things that we need to follow at this moment of time. Okay, so now going forward, guys. Okay, so now we have, there is something called logical NOT operator. I'll say that is logical NOT operator. So logical operator says that it returns true if operand is false, otherwise false. So it is trying to say is, okay, so let's say that is, okay, it's trying to say, okay, it's trying to say that is A is, it's returns true if operand is false. So that is like, let's say it is A is false. A is false, and that is like, A not, when I say A not equal to false, then it is like, okay, so A is equal to true. So it means to say, it is says that A is not equal to 0, that means A is equal to 1. Like that, either this or that, because true will represent it as like 1, false we will represent it as like 0. So if I say that is A is not equal to 0, then A is must equal to 1. And at the same time, A is not equal to false, that means A is equal to true. That's what it is trying to say. Okay, so let's go back and see this out. Okay, so let's go back and see this out, like how it's going to work and everything. All right, Just say that. All right. So what the IntelliSense is going to see? So I'll say that is const, and you can take it. Yeah, a5 is equal to false. Okay, a5 is equal to false, and the not operator. Okay, so and the not operator. Say that is console. All right, console dot log, and there you are. Not operator is always all right. So the not operator here is okay. Here is please make a note. Here is please make a note. Is not operator is denoted using exclamatory symbol. Okay. Okay, so that's how it is. So not operator is denoted using exclamatory symbol. Please understand that. All right, so now going forward, you can see it here. I'll say there is constant, that is a6 equals to true. All right, so a6 equal to true. Earlier I had taken false. Now I'm taking true. So now in here I'll say that is console dot, say it is console dot log, and it is a6, so that it should be false, because if it is false it will return true, if it is true it will false. So it is like vice versa, because I'm saying it is not. So that's how it is. So come back to the browser and you have every information right over here. So I am going to showcase you that. Okay, so the very first thing is like, so here where the AND operator started. So any one operand is false, it gives you false. So both the operands are true here. So that it is true. Coming back to the OR operator, if any one operand is denoting to true, then it will become true. Otherwise, it will false. So A1 and B1 is denoting maybe the false and a false, so that's why it's got false. But A2, B2, A3, B3, A4, AB. So out of these three, either one operand is true or both the operands is true. So that's why it is returning to the true. Now coming back to this, is not A5 is false, that's why it is true. Not A6 is true, that's why it is false. So it is like vice versa. It is a reverse of AND gate, what we can say. Okay, it's like, reverse of. Okay, so we can say one more thing in here, that is one more note for this not operator. Okay, so not. Okay, so this is a reverse of the logical and operator. Okay, so reverse of the. Okay, if true, then a naught is false, and it's vice versa. So that's what I can tell it at this moment of time, guys. Okay, so this is how we'll try to utilize the things as that. So going forward, the next operator is a very easiest operator, and of course we had made too much practices on that. If it is not, also we can make the practices on this particular. So in this operator, sir, I'll create one more file. So the next operator we're going to say is, that is relational operator. All right, so the relational operator is like something which is like telling about the relations between the numbers, like it is like equal to, not equal to, lesser than, greater than, and all those things. So anyways, that is made that easy. Okay, okay, but before that, okay, so what I have taken in here, logical relational. Okay, so bitwise is one of the next, guys. Okay, so let's take, okay, bitwise is also one of the next. All right, so you can say here as, so that is bitwise dot js. Hit enter. So now in this case, again, same thing. What I'll do is, let's just take the value. I'll say that is const. You can take const, or you can take let, or you can take var. So we don't need to much worry about it, what it has to be taken and what it has not to be. So out of three data types, or out of three keywords for the variable naming convention, you can use any one among them. Okay, so I'll say that is, const, I'll say that is a n equals to, okay, a n equals to. So as of now, you can see the IntelliSense is giving me the binary number, that is 0b101010 is going to be the number of 42. right? It's going to be the number of 42. But anyways, I'll not take that big number at this moment of time. Let's just take the small one. Let's just take the small one. I'll take that is A input as like 1. Okay, and this is my first operand. And the second operand is, okay, I'll take that is const, and I'll say that is B in, that is B input equals to, I'll take it as like 5. Okay, and this is my second operand. So here, anyway, I'll write the console as like, okay, so that is like and in here, and it's going to return. Okay, so it's going to return in such a fashion that, okay, so here is something. Okay, here is something. So we need to understand first thing first. In the logical operators are, okay, so in the logical operator, all right, in the logical operator, so whenever we had taken the truth table, all right, so in the logical operator, whenever we had taken the logical operator, all right, so the logical operator, okay, so this one is not good. All right, so now in the logical operator, it deals with true and a false. It deals with false or true, right? It deals with false or true. But when it is come to the bitwise operator, it deals with the bits. Either it should be 0 or either it should be 1. Either it should be 1 or either it should be 0. So now in here, there would be two inputs. That is AN is my first input and BN is my second input. Okay. So now in here, what I have, the value is 1. Okay. And what I have value is like 5. So for the 1, it has to be converted into binary fashion. It has to be converted into binary. So what is 1, sir? Okay. 1 is 0, 1, sir. Okay, 1 is 0, 1. And now what is 5, sir? What is 5? So if you just come like this, okay, 0, 0 is the 1, is 0, sir, is the 1, 0, and it is like, okay, 0, 1, sir, it is 1, 0, sir, it is 1, 1, sir. Okay, so it is 1, 1, 1, sir. Okay, so now it is 1 becomes, okay, so it is like, okay, so 1 triple 0, sir. Okay, so 1, 0, 1, sir. Okay, so 1, okay, so 1, 1, 0, sir. It is 1, 1 like that. So the bitwise it will be, coming like that. It will be coming like that. So when it is come to the bit of 5, okay, so when it is come to the bit of 5, it is like, said to be is like, 0, 1, 0, 1. It is said to be 0, 0, 1, that is 0, 1, 0, 1 is 1, 0, 1, that's your fine, because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5. 5 is considered to be 0, 1, 0, 1 or 1, 0, 1. So here I have 2 bits, so that's the reason I'll add the 2 zeros at the left hand side. So now what I need to do is I need to apply the AND operator. So AND operator is where there is a 1 and 1, it will give an input as like 1. Where there is a single in a one single input is 0, then I'll get the 0, like 0, 1 which gives you 0. Okay, so 1, 0 which will gives you the 0. Okay, so 1 and 1 which gives you the 1. Remember that. Okay, remember that. Remember that. Okay, so where there is a 0, sir, first input is 0, second input is 0, answer is 0. Okay, first input is 1, second input is 0, then answer is 0. So first input is 0, second input is 1, and answer is 0. But it will give you 1 and 1, where first input is 1, second input is 1, and third input should be 1. So add this position, sir. Add this only position where the bitwise AND operator give you the value. It is same as like logical operator, logical AND operator. It is same like a logical AND operator. Only thing is that 0 representing false, 1 representing true. 0 representing false, 1 representing true. So that's how it is. So coming back to this whole sort of concept, okay, coming back to the whole sort of concept here, okay, whole sort of concept here, that is, okay, that is my AND bitwise AND operator should give the value. Now, bitwise.js is the file is created, and the same file has to be called in the index.html. So I'll come back to here and I'll just talk to the script. Okay, src, and now here, so in the place of assignment.js, where is it? Assignment.js I have not created. So since there is assignment.js, it's not created, but it is coming in because of I have used the word somewhere down the line. Somewhere down the line I have used the word, so that's why it's coming in. But that's okay. I have not created it, but I have created bitwise.js. So let's just do that one. Okay. So now come back here, cut this, and just use 1 forward slash and wait for this. There you are. So you have two files, one is logical, one is bitwise. I'll go for a bitwise right now. So in this bitwise, so I'll just come back to the browser and see my console. And in the console, it's like, BAN, ABN is equal to 1. The reason why it is 1, the reason why it is 1, when this 2 is converted into what? This 1 is converted into 0, 0, 0, 1. All right. So how it is like, sir? How it is like, sir? It is like, okay, so 0, 0, 0, 1. That is nothing but a 1. So when it is come to 5, sir, it is like 0, 1, 0, 1. And now ampersand and. So 1, 1, wherever there is a 1, it is 1. 0, 0, it is 0. 1, 0, it is 0. Okay, 0 is 0. Okay, so now how to convert into the binary now? Okay, sorry, how to convert into the whole number now? Convert into the whole number, right? Convert into the whole number. How to convert into the whole number, sir? Here is like, so this bits is converted into binary now. So it's like, 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay, 0, 1. This can be written as like 2 to the power 0, 2 to the power 1. Okay, and 2 to the power 2 and 2 to the power 3. So where there is zeros, right, we will not consider that. We'll just simply strike it off. We'll just strike it off. And anything to the power 0, anything to the power 0 is, whose answer is 1. Anything to the power, so 2 to the power 0, 1 to the power 0, 3 to the power 0, 4 to the power 0. So power 0 number is nothing but there is a 1 count. So answer will be 1. So that is why in the console section, it is coming as like 1. It's coming 1. All right, remember that. So if I change the values to 2 now, if I change the value to the 2 now, and now come back and see that. Okay, so now it is 0. Now it is 0, right? Now it is 0. So where it is 0, sir? Maybe that is 1. Sorry, for the 2, the binary value of 2 is, it is 0, 0, 1, 0, right? Binary value of 2 is 0, 0, 1, 0, right? Again, the 5 is 0, 1, 0, 1. So now 0, 1 is 0. Okay, 1, 0 is 0. Okay, 1, 0 is 0 and 0, 1 is 0 and 0 is 0. So it's like 0, like that. That's how it is. So any whole number you take it, it is converted into binary, and after that it is be written in two's fashion, two's complement, that is 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, okay, 2 to the power 3, 2 to the power 4, like that. So where there is one value are there, so we'll take only the one value. So if there is a 0 value, right, we simply strike it out. That's how it is. Okay, so that's how it is, guys. Okay, so going forward, I'll make it as like, okay, so the const, I'll say that is AR, yes, and BR, this is second operator, and I'll take it as like R. So answer is, now when it says OR operator is something again the reverse, okay, as same as that the logical OR operator. So only this thing is like, we need to understand false is nothing but a 0, true is nothing but a 1. So when it is come to the bitwise OR operator, sir, okay, when it is come to the bitwise OR operator. Okay, so when it is come to the bitwise OR operator, so it is like, so let's just have the box. All right, with the box or without the box, that's up to you. So within this, okay, so I have a input, I have a B input, and I have a ARP, right? So if A is 0, B is 1, okay, B is, okay, so B is also 0, the answer is 0. Okay, and A is 1, B is 0, the answer is 1. Remember that. All right, so A is 0 and B is 1 and the answer is 1. Remember that. And A is 1, B is 1 and the answer is 1. Like that. So any one operand is true. Any one operand is 1. Any one operand is 1. It will give you a value, and of course, if both are true, it will give 1. Remember that. Okay, remember that. So going forward, let's just go back. All right, so let's just go back. All right, so let's just go back and check that, like how the interpreter is understanding and how it is actually making it. So now in here, okay, so now in here, so the value that I have used, that is A is equal to 2. So A is equal to 2 is nothing but 0, 0. Okay, so 1, 0. All right, so now the B, 5 value is 0, 1, 0, 1. So now it says like, Okay, it says like, what is said is any value is 1 0, one operand is true, that is an answer is true. This is 1 and this is also 1 and this is also 1 and this is 0. This is 0. So this is a bit passion, sir. It is in a binary passion. So I need to convert into what? I need to convert into whole number. Right? I need to convert into whole number. So how to convert into whole number? How to convert into whole number, sir? Now, so it is like, okay, so the 0 is here, 1 is here, 1 is here, 1 is here. So let's just make it as like, okay, so the very first is like 2 to the power 0, 2 to the power 1, okay, 2 to the power 2 and 2 to the power 3. So in this section, sir, it is 0 over here. So the value 0 will not consider it. And now coming back to here, 2 to the power 1, it is 1 plus, okay. Okay, 2 to the power 1 is nothing but a 2 into 1. So that is 2 plus, all right. So 2 to the power 2 is nothing but a 2 into 2. So what is 2 into 2? It is 4. So now 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 1 is 7. So that's how. So when I apply OR operator on 2 and a 7, 2 and a 5, I'll get a value as like 7. I'll get a value 7 on the screen. And let me just go back and see the same. So just come back here and that's what we have a 7 over here. That is why we have a 7 over here. So that's how it is. So whenever we deal with, okay, whenever we deal with the bitwise operator, so we need to deal with the bits and we should know how to convert the bits into the numbers and number into the bits. At least up to 20 numbers bits we should know. We should have like ready in the brain. All right, so going forward, we have that is OR operator, XOR. All right, so now in here, XOR operator is as usual, like, if there is two operand, okay, so two operand is anywhere, two operand 0 0, it will 1 and 1 0, it is 1. But when it is, sorry, the XOR operator is like, okay, so 0 0, it is 0, 1 1, it is 0. That means even input is 0, odd input is 1. Simple as that. See, when I say like, okay, A value is 0, B value is 0, answer is 0. And A value is 1, B value is 1, answer is 0. So even inputs, okay, wherever even input, okay, so that is even input for there is 0. So if it is 0 and a 1, it is 1. It is 1 and a 0, it is 1, like that. So depends on this bits, the value will be coming on the screen. So I'll request everybody sit back, sit at the corner of your room and then practice all those things. Okay, so if you not practice it, it will not come on the come into the come into the coding. So requested, please do your the best. Okay. So now I can see the answer is coming 7. Answer is coming 7, and of course it is like XOR operator. Okay, XOR is operator. So like how? Like please sit back and do your own preparations. Okay, and if you got any doubt, please reach me out. All right, and since we completed all the three, like, okay, so we have completed the bitwise, we have completed the arithmetic, assignment, bitwise, and logical. So we have another few operators, and that will be taken care in the next session. Until then, stay healthy, stay hydrated, and we will see later in the next classroom, guys. So until here, thank you very much for your time, and I'll be winding up the session for the day.